Uproar over bounty put on anti-Islam filmmaker. More fallout from the dispute over Diaoyu Islands. An avalanche in Nepal kills 9 climbers. Good evening. We begin with a shocking new twist to the Muslim outrage against a video made in the US mocking the Prophet Muhammad. A Pakistani minister has offered $100,000 to anyone who kills the video producer. The bounty was quickly denounced by the Pakistani government. James Legilia has our top story.
Pakistan's railways minister has offered a $100,000 reward for the death of the person who made the controversial film that has sparked protests across the Muslim world. Ghulam Ahmed Balor said he would pay the reward out of his own pocket. He urged the Taliban and Al-Qaeda to perform what he calls the sacred duty of helping to locate and kill the filmmaker. I will ask others who can afford it to also pay, said the minister. The Pakistani government says it absolutely disassociated itself from the bounty. While many Muslim countries saw mostly peaceful protests on Friday, at least 15 people were killed in Pakistan during demonstrations over the video. In Bangladesh yesterday, dozens of people were arrested and scores injured as protesters clashed with police. Several vehicles were burned, including a police van. The unrest has forced schools and businesses to close. Transportation has also been disrupted. Security was tight on the streets of the capital Dhaka today as further protests loom over anti-Muslim cartoons published in a French satirical magazine. In Nigeria, tens of thousands of Muslims yesterday marched through the northern city of Kano to protest against the controversial film. Marchers shouted, "Death to America, death to Israel, and death to the enemies of Islam." Meanwhile, in Libya, the head of Libya's National Congress has pledged to take action against the country's militias, suspected of taking advantage of the furor against the video and cartoons. The head of the General National Congress, Mohammed Magharif, promised in Benghazi to dissolve all militias and military camps which are not under the control of the state. He also called on everyone to stop using violence and carrying weapons in public places. This came after the Islamist militia group Ansar al-Sharia, linked to the deadly attack on the U.S. consulate earlier, was swept out of Benghazi. James Legilia, TVB News.
In another development, the U.S. State Department has slammed CNN for reporting on the diary of slain American ambassador to Libya, Christopher Stevens, over objections from his family. CNN defended the use of the diary, saying the public has the right to know about warnings of a terror threat before the Benghazi attack almost 2 weeks ago. And Muslims in Hong Kong have also joined the global outcry against the anti-Islam film. Organisers of a rally in Central today say more than 5,000 people took part. Police say the protest drew a crowd of 3,300 at its peak. And there were some tense moments as the demonstrators made their way to the US Consulate General. Our Temeli Tianmei has that story.
Prayer time here at Chater Garden this afternoon. Thousands of Muslims showed their solidarity in defending the Prophet Muhammad in light of the controversial film. Organisers of today's event stressed the peace-loving nature of Islam.
We condemn all kind of violence. Islam is a religion of peace. Actually, the aim of the maker is to create the mischief among the Muslims. So actually, our protest is not against any specific religion or country, but those who are culprits, who have done these things, they should be brought to the justice. Respect all the religion, so the religion of Islam should be respected.
While many of the protesters here are Hong Kong residents of South Asian descent, there are also Muslims from Southeast Asia and Africa and the sea of men here.
Muslim women also waded in.
It is not freedom of expression that they are doing, but it's a freedom to insult.
But emotions ran high as the protesters headed towards the U.S. Consulate General to deliver their petition. A number of the representatives were supposed to submit their demands, but there was no stopping the crowd that tagged along. and police struggled to hold them back. That led to pushing and shoving. Tempers flared as some protesters tore and burned the American flag. After consulate staff came out to receive their petition, the demonstrators left peacefully.
2-3% actually burned the flags, but the remaining 98% of them, you can see they were telling them to calm down, restrain, control themselves. And after, when the event ends, you can see we pick up all the rubbish around and we feel apologetic.
Still, protesters want to see immediate action taken to withdraw the film.
Please ask them to stop the YouTube and Google as soon as possible.
Tamili Tianmei, TVB News.